All right, guys. So this is your part one of your review. Excuse me. Part one of your review for your PowerPoint certification exam. All right. So I'm just going to go through a couple of these things, and I might skip around a little bit. I'll try to get you through about 15 of these things today and 15 of them tomorrow, and then hopefully we can practice a little bit on Monday as well. So let's go and start at the beginning here. All right. It says edit the title and content layout slide by adding a content box on the left, rename the layout Contoso. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our slide masters. Okay, so view, slide master, scroll up and start hovering over these until you see title and content slide master. This is our title and content slide master. It wants us to add a content box on the left hand side. So let's scoot that one over. Insert a content placeholder over here. And then it wants us to rename. So go back to slide master and say rename. And it wants us to call it Contoso. Like that. Okay. And then close your slide master view. So we're done with number one. Boom. Highlight them as we go. Hide all the comments in the presentation. We've gone through this one before too. And remember, there's not a function that actually allows you to hide comments. If you notice, I have a comment chilling right here that says OneNote. If I want to actually hide that comment, I have to come up here to the comments group under the review tab and click on the arrow below show comments and uncheck something called show markup. That's going to hide all of the comments in the presentation, not just to that one slide. Okay, so that one's done. And remember, that one's called show markup. Okay, add a curtain transition between slides 1 and 2. So if it says between slides 1 and 2, I actually need to put the transition right here on slide 2. Okay, so I'm going to say transitions. I'm going to say curtains, just like that. Okay, that one's done. All right, add all of the slides from the Vineyards PowerPoint in the Documents folder at the end of the presentation in order. So this one I'm probably going to skip over for right now, and I'll come back to it because I need a PowerPoint, another PowerPoint in order to do that. The trick to this question, though, is that you're going to be inserting new slides. You have two options. You're either going to insert slides from outline, or you're going to insert, or you're going to reuse slides. These are your two options. And reusing slides, whenever you see that you're inserting slides from a PowerPoint, you always want to go to reuse. Whenever you're inserting slides from a document or a text file or rich text format or RTF file, you want to say slides from outline. Okay, so I'm going to skip over that one for right now. Remove all the document properties and personal information. Okay, so that's whenever you hear the word properties, you think file tab. It's either going to be over here on the right hand side, or it's going to want you to actually inspect the presentation and remove document properties and personal information. I'm going to say yes. I want to save my presentation, so whatever, yes, I'll do that. Now let's see if it'll let me inspect. There. Check for issues, inspect, inspect, document properties and personal information, remove all, and close. Okay, that's it for that one. That one's easy. Let's go ahead and highlight this one. All right, apply the droplet theme to the slide master. Okay, that one's not hard either. So slide master view, slide master. Whenever it says slide master and not like title slide master or title and content slide master, you want to click on this big slide right here and you want to change your theme colors to droplet. So you got to scroll down a little bit until you see droplet, and then it should look something like that. And then make sure you close your master view. Okay. I think that was droplet, wasn't it? Yeah, there's droplets. All right. Group the 4 pictures on slide 8. So let's go to slide 8. Group the 4 pictures. So I'm holding control on my keyboard and I'm selecting all 4 pictures. I'm going to come up here to my format tab under picture tools, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say group, just like that. Okay. Okay, that one's done. Boom. Change the colors of the SmartArt graphic on slide 17 to colorful range accent colors 4 to 5. Change the colors on slide 17. So we need this SmartArt graphic. Whenever you select SmartArt, I always say you want to click on this little arrow so that you can see your bulleted lists. And let's go ahead and go Design, Change Colors. You want to make sure you're scrolled all the way up over here because at the very top you're going to see colorful and it wants 4 to 5. So that one right there. Okay, done with that one. On slide 9, animate the text so that the first line wipes from the top immediately when the slide is shown, and each subsequent lines wipe from the top 1 second after the previous line. Okay, so that one's weird. Let's go to slide 9. All right, it wants it wants us to take. Let's make sure. There, yeah, let's scoot this out a little bit. Let's scoot it out from the table. Let me read that again. Early. In slide 9, animate the text so that the first line wipes from the top immediately when the slide is shown. So we need to say this line needs to be animated with a wipe from the top like that immediately when the slide is shown. So I want to say animation pane and I want to say with previous so that it shows with the slide. And it says, and each subsequent line wipes from the top 1 second after the previous line. So that's a delay. 1 second, each subsequent line wipes from the top 1 second after the previous. Okay, so we need to set everything to after previous, I think, for the rest of these. So we want to say wipe, animation, from the top. We want to say after previous, and we want a delay, I forget how long, 1 second after the previous line, so a delay of 1 second. All right, and let's go ahead and see if that worked. So that comes in. There we go. Yeah, I don't have patience to watch it all, but we get it. So that's how that one should be done. And that one's a trickier one. All right. On slide 12, add a 3D clustered bar chart that shows the majors as the categories and current enrollments as the series. Use the data from the table to populate the chart. This is a weird one. So if you look at slide 12, we have majors and we have current enrollments. We have PowerPoint, Word, and Excel for our majors, and current enrollments is 20, 50, and 70. They want us to insert a chart, a 3D clustered bar chart. Okay, so we're going to say insert, we're going to say chart, bar chart, 3D cluster bar chart. When we say OK, it's actually going to give us a little Excel window. Okay, let's go ahead and resize this chart so that it's not taking up my entire area. All right, so here's my little Excel window, and this actually controls what the chart actually says. It, in the question, if you read it again, and you might have to, show the majors as the categories and the current enrollment as the series. All right, so here's your categories, and the current enrollments are the series. Okay, so what we want to do is say categories should be PowerPoint because it says as the majors as the categories. Word, and then Excel. Okay, it wants the majors as, or the current enrollments as the series. So 20, 50, and 70 is going to be our data. So we're going to say 20, 50, and 70 as the series. All right, now the tricky part is that it just wants us to show that stuff. So we're going to actually take our little blue line and take our little blue line over to just basically give us Excel, Word, and PowerPoint for just 20, 50, and 70. Okay, So I think that's how our chart there should look. Let's make sure I read that again. That shows the majors as the categories and the current enrollment as the series. Use the data from the table to populate the chart. Yep, I think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. And then we can close out our little Excel box. Okay. All right, that one was one of the harder ones we've done. Add a linear down gradient fill to the body placeholder in the Notes Master. Okay, so Notes Master, View tab. Notes Master, a linear gradient down to the body placeholder. So we want to say fill with a gradient, and it just says linear down. So it doesn't say light or dark variation linear down. It just says gradient fill linear down. Add a linear down gradient fill to the body placeholder of the Notes Master. So I'm taking it, we can pretty much pick any one we want, because this is linear down. There we go, just like that. I hope that's right. On slide 7, resize the 16-point star so that it's twice as large. The height and the width of the shape should remain proportional. All right, so on slide 7, let's get out of Notes Masters. On slide 7, there's our star. It wants us to be twice as large so that it's twice as large. The height and the width of the shape should remain proportional. Okay, so drawing tools, format tab. So right now, my height and my width are right here. I'm going to actually click on my chisel for size so I can say scale, height and width. It wants us to be twice as big. So I'm just going to say instead of 100, I'm going to say 200. And it says the height and the width should remain proportional, so that needs to be 200 as well. So there's my new star. It's definitely bigger. All right. So let's go highlight that one. Save the presentation to the Documents folder as an XPS file named Presentation. So you're going to go File, Save As. You're going to find a Documents folder that I probably don't have. I don't know. Blank Documents, that'll work for me. Just as Presentation. And they want you to save it as an XPS file, XPS document. Okay? And then say Save. I'm not going to save it because I already have one in there. All right. Add the orange 18-point glow accent color 1 glow effect and 5-point soft edge to the picture on slide 1. Add an orange 18-point glow. Oh, on slide 7. My bad. Same slide I was just on. Okay. So picture tools, picture effects. They want to glow. 18-point orange. I don't think I have accent color 1, but that's probably just because my theme colors are a little different. So I'm going to say there, and then I'm going to go back under picture effects because they want a 5-point soft edge. Just like that. Highlight that one. All right, guys, we're about halfway done. Yay. On slide 5, add the hyperlink, humongusinsurance.com/travel to the text exam format. So on slide 5. Oh, our picture's taking up too much space here. Let's go ahead and resize that a little bit. There. To the text exam format, they want a hyperlink. So I'm going to right click and say hyperlink. And down here, I'm going to say www.humongusinsurance.com/travel. I think that's right. Make sure. Yeah, that's right. And then say OK. And then your text should actually blue out like that. Okay. Okay. Configure the show type as browsed by an individual and advance slides manually. So this is a slideshow thing. Configure the show type as browsed by an individual and advance slides manually. So slideshow, setup slideshow. They want to say browse by an individual right here and advance slides manually, just like that. Okay, and that one's done. All right, so I'm going to pause this video because we're about at the halfway mark. And then tomorrow or Monday, because it is Friday currently right now, we'll go through the second half of this. But so far, you know, that's a good majority of your test right there. Okay. All right, guys. Just do the best job you can. Make sure you do save this because once you finish it on Monday, I am going to request that you turn in this PowerPoint, and this will be for a grade.